Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be building spinnerbaits. More importantly, we're going to be building it on the best frame that I've ever used and the best one I've ever fished. All the components I'm using today can easily be found at Lure Parts Online, and I'm building on Lure Parts' new Wild Eye Spinnerbait Frame. Now, I got to fish this a lot last year, and here is why it is different. First of all, with the head starts out narrower and then gets really thicker toward the base of the head. That allows it to come over cover much easier without rolling over. It's got a much more stable head to it. One of the other things about it is the .035 wire. Now, the lightest wire that I've ever built on is I think a .032. Now, although that allows a little bit more vibration, those also break a lot easier. So we wanted to find a frame that gave us a lot of vibration, but still lasted a long time for the individual that was building on it. So we settled on a .035. It has a lot of vibration, and make sure you stay tuned near the end of this video. I'm going to show you exactly what this lure looks like underwater so you can see how intense the vibration is from it. Also on this new spinnerbait frame, we have the new Micro Barb Keeper Technology. This is new compared to any other spinnerbait out there. It has 8 points of contact around the collar. What that means is when I slide a plastic trailer up on the head here, there are 8 different barbs on here so the bait can't pull off. With a single barb, once a plastic goes on, it can easily pull off the same way. You can't do that with Micro Barb technology. Since the points are all different, once you slide that trailer on, there's no single path for that trailer to come off, so it stays on much better and much longer. Now the hook on here is a 4.0 Trokar. A lot of times on the spinnerbait, I will bend the hook a little bit to give it a wider bite radius. I'm not touching this hook. As much as a fan of VMC hooks as I am, this is a phenomenal spinnerbait frame, and with that lock or that bend in that hook right there, once a fish is hooked on here, I really can't even remember last year if I had a fish come off. The hooking percentage on this bait is awesome. Now, of course, you'll see the big eyes on there, hence that's where the name the Wild Eye Spinnerbait comes from. There's a lot more profile on this spinnerbait head than other ones I've used. Whatever lures I build them with a purpose. Lures are simply tools to get a job done. So the tool that I'm building today, I'm going to be using in either that dark green or stained to slightly muddy water. Here in the Midwest in March, April, and May, that's usually the water clarity that we're dealing with. So I'm going to want a contrasting color. So the skirt I picked is a sexy shad colored skirt. It has a little bit of blue in it, some gold, and some white. That's a contrasting color. If it was clear water, I might go with a little bit more of a natural color, but in the spring, since I'm dealing with that dark green or stained to lightly muddy water, what I want is a contrasting color, and then I want blades that are going to put off more thump and more vibration. The blade I've picked for this one, we're building on a 1/2 ounce size spinnerbait, so I picked Lure Parts Online Hurricane blade. It is absolutely one of my favorite blades to build with when I'm faced with stained or muddy water. There's going to be a lot of vibration that this blade puts out, and that's why I chose it. Fish feed by sight first, but when that sight is limited, they have to be able to feel that lure. So I'm combining both things. Stained or muddy water, I want contrasting colors so it stands out more. Stained or muddy water, I want a blade that's going to put off more vibration so they can find it. That's why I'm using that Hurricane blade. That's going to be the rear blade. The front blade is going to be a number 2 size Colorado, and it's going to be in the hybrid form. Now, the hybrid blades are awesome. We have them in our Miramax blades on Lure Parts Online, and they're part gold and part silver. So they don't put off a continuous flash. It's like an intermittent flash. It's different than how most people fish blades on a spinnerbait. This is a really unique flash to that. So again, when I build my own stuff, I want something different. I want a competitive edge. And what gives me more confidence is building something that I feel a lot of people will not be using, or in a lot of cases don't even have. So that's a blade and skirt combination. Let's put it together. Here's how easy it is to build a spinnerbait. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bead and I'm going to run it up the arm of the spinnerbait here. That is going to protect the clevis on the first blade from having a chance of getting down in the R-bend. So after I have that, then I put my clevis on my front blade. I'm going to slide that on the arm just like so. That's on there. Now I'm going to add another bead on there. Now that blade's going to spin real nice and freely with those beads. I want to keep the blades separated more, so I'm going to add a little spacer, just like so. I'm going to finish that off with a bead as well. Now all I have to do is take a long nose pliers, and I am going to take the arm and I am going to bend it around. So I have kind of like a little loop right there. I've got that. Now all I need to do is add the spinnerbait swivel and the blade, which I have right there. Then I'm going to close that. And there you go right there. There, as simple as that, is your completed spinnerbait frame. And now we're going to add the skirt. These sensation skirts are extremely easy to work with, and you just simply slide it up over. It goes right over the micro barb. It's right there, right up on the collar. And there you go. That's it. I'm always going to keep white on the bottom, or I'm going to keep a lighter color on the bottom. That is reminiscent more of a bait fish. To me, it looks more realistic. There is your completed spinnerbait. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like underwater. I told you the Wild Eye Spinnerbait Frame looked cool underwater. It's got intense vibration, especially paired up with that hurricane blade. Now, when you go to Lure Parts online, you'll see a lot of those little videos that will help you decide if that's what you want one of your builds, your potential builds, to look like. It's just a little bit more helpful information for you. Now, when you go to Lure Parts, use this code YouTube10. That'll give you 10% off your order. Wintertime is a great time to build a lot of your lures for the upcoming season. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and please tell some of your friends about it. Until next time, I'm Jim Crowley. God bless you, and together we'll build success.